Hey everyone, welcome back to the Puzzle Creative YouTube channel for escape room owners. I'm Maddie and I'm the Puzzle Creative Operations Director, and part of my job is to oversee our hiring and training processes across all of our portfolio companies. This includes Memphis Escape Rooms, the Escape Room Florence, the Adventure Museum, and our newest business, Game Night Lounge. Which is why today I'm going to talk you through our training processes for our new room hosts or game masters at Memphis Escape Rooms. We've learned a lot over the last 10 years and thought it would be great to share our training processes with you all. As escape room owners, or really any business owner, you know how vital it is to have well-trained staff who can deliver unforgettable experiences to your customers. At Memphis Escape Rooms, we have a very structured training system that has worked really well for us. We've made many adjustments along the way to get to the training process we have today, but there are a lot of checkpoints, quizzes, and milestones in place to help our team train in a more efficient way. These checkpoints also help us identify early on whether or not a new hire is going to be able to carry out the responsibilities that come with being a room host. To start, I want to point out the heart of our training and one simple goal. We want every team member to feel ownership in their role and confidence in their responsibilities. We believe great training is hands-on, you learn by doing, not just watching. Supportive, you're never on your own. Trainers, managers, and coworkers are always there to help. And it's structured, but flexible. We have clear expectations and timelines, but we also adapt to everyone's pace and learning style. Throughout our training, we're not just showing them how to do a job, we're helping them understand how their role contributes to the guest experience, the team culture, and the success of our business. It's important that every staff member knows the why behind what they're doing. It's easier for people to carry weight and uphold the standard of excellence that we require when they can see and understand the vision that they're helping carry out. Our training is based on clear milestones and checkpoints that focus on both the technical room running skills as well as customer service. Each trainee has to complete a series of quizzes and checkpoints and an assessment before they're fully cleared as a room host. At our locations, we have training packets for every role a staff member can learn, but all new hires start at square one. We have these training packets because it's extremely important that we make sure that we hit on every single thing that a new staff member needs to know so nothing slips through the cracks. We always have new staff train for 40 total hours over the course of 8 days, and each day follows a structured outline. So day one is all about making our new hires feel welcome and building a strong foundation. It can be scary sometimes to come into a place where you don't know anyone and have a ton of information thrust on you. So we try to make their first day fun and a soft introduction to everything that the role entails. We're also conscious of not starting a new hire on the weekends, where we'll be busy and not able to give them the attention that they need. Sometimes starting someone during the busiest time of the week can also scare them away because they're not fully understanding what's going on just yet. So here's what we do on day one. They'll be introduced to the team, get a tour of the space, and get their staff shirts that they'll wear as part of their uniform. They'll be given day one snacks, which is a tradition we have at Memphis Escape Rooms. During their interviews, I always ask, if you go on a long road trip and you stop at a gas station, what snacks and drinks are you going to grab? Having these ready for them on their first day shows we remembered something about them, and it's a small comfort for them. We'll then sit down and walk through our policies, clocking in, breaks, dress code, and communication protocols that we use like Slack, and when I work, vacation days, and what to expect for the rest of their training shifts. It's important to have this time because even though we send them a handbook with all of the information, we want to make sure that they understand the policies that we have in place. After reviewing the information with them, we have them take a quick quiz to make sure they retain the information before we move forward. Then they get to play the room or rooms that they will be learning. We believe this is an important step because 1, they will be learning this room and they need to understand how it flows. 2, it helps them understand the customer mindset a little bit more and they get to understand some of the struggles that a customer might have when it comes to solving certain puzzles. And 3, it's just fun to get to play an escape room on your first day. For the rest of the shift, they will get to see how the rooms that they played get reset. They'll walk through the entire process and told how to use the reset checklist. They'll get to practice the reset and use the reset checklist tool a few times throughout their shift. Reset checklists are one of the most important parts of training, and we always make sure trainees are going line by line on that checklist without missing any items to prevent any reset errors from happening, which could really ruin a customer's experience. Every new hire has a designated trainer on shift with them whenever they're on site. Their trainer sends in a training update at the end of each shift that includes a variety of items: how quickly the trainee is catching on, what questions they may have had, what all they went over during the shift, and a culture check. The culture check is super important because it helps us flag early on if they will mesh well with our team and our way of doing things. Day 2 focuses on shadowing and customer service. They start out their shift by taking a room host basics quiz. This helps us know what they've remembered from their previous shift and what we might need to review before moving forward. Once we've reviewed anything that needs to be addressed from the quiz, we move on to customer interactions. Customer interactions are an extremely vital part of the training process and an area that we practice more than anything else. We know that everyone has different personalities and that some people can be more naturally soft-spoken or reserved. So we take all of that into account when practicing. I always tell our trainers that the best way to approach training in this specific area is to focus on the trainee learning the information first, and then we can focus on how they say it. We know that customer interactions can make or break the customer experience. The trainer will demonstrate the customer interaction points to the trainee. This includes all areas from greeting a group in the lobby, taking them to our viewing room where they'll watch the rules of mission video, going over any room-specific items the group may need to know about, celebrating the customer as well, whether they escape or not, and how to tie everything together at the end. The trainer then has the trainee practice the customer interaction points with just the two of them. They continue practicing until the trainee feels confident in the information that they're sharing. And then once they have the points memorized, we move to focusing on the presentation of that information. We train things like always wanting our facial expressions to be friendly. We don't want our body language to be closed off or position ourselves to where we're shut off from the group. We want to speak clearly and make eye contact. And all of these things are important for creating a friendly and engaging environment. We don't want our room hosts to look everywhere but at the group with half their bodies already out the door as they whisper their final instructions. So that would feel really weird and make the customers feel like an inconvenience. One thing we never want to do is make the customers feel like we don't care if they're there. We do focus quite a bit on ending the experience well. We always want to celebrate groups whether they escape or not. We clap and cheer for them when they win, and we even celebrate how close they got if they didn't escape. Even if the customers still had a few puzzles to go, we make sure to highlight the things they did well. We always have our staff pay attention to key moments that happen over the course of the customer's time in the room so that they can point out a genuine moment where the group solved something really quick or they worked really well together. At the tail end of Day 2, we have our room hosts look over the flow chart for each room that they are learning to continue to familiarize themselves with the puzzle and overall flow. Before they leave at the end of their shift, we have the trainee take our room hosts basics quiz. This quiz asks questions pertaining to all of the information that they've been going over on Day 1 and Day 2. The trainer will talk through the quiz with them and take note of anything that they may have missed. And then they'll include those items in their training update to inform any other trainers of what they might need to revisit for the next shift. On Day 3, we have the room host focus on opening and closing each room. This is an important step because every escape room is different and we want them to feel confident in completing each opening and closing item. If the trainee comes in for an afternoon shift after the rooms have already been open, then we have the trainer shut down the room so that the trainee can have practice opening. We have opening and closing checklists that our staff use to ensure everything is set up well for the day ahead and is closed down well at night to set the morning shift up for success. On Day 3, our trainees are introduced to actually running the room. They'll observe their trainer for the first room and then begin to take over. The trainer is with them the entire time, talking through the customer thought processes, what groups tend to struggle on with each puzzle, the timing of where we want groups to be at certain points, which clues are best for each situation, and more. On Day 4, it's time for the location manager check-in and assessment. This is the time where our location manager comes in to check in on the trainee's overall progress so far. During this check-in, the location manager has the trainee demonstrate all customer interaction points they've been practicing over the last few days. The location manager then watches the trainee do a reset of each room that they're learning. This is to see a few things. 1, to make sure the trainee is using the reset checklist correctly. 2, that the trainee is familiar with the room and is able to reset props and puzzles in the correct way that align with our standards. 3, to make sure that the trainee is able to reset the room in under 15 minutes, which is the maximum amount of time that we allow for resets. If a room is booked at the time of the check-in, then the location manager will have the trainee run the room and observe. This is to help them gauge if they are familiar with the clues, how to help groups understand each puzzle, room timing, and overall flow. The location manager also has the trainee take the Day 4 survey. This is an important survey that helps us better understand how things are going from the trainee's point of view. It asks questions like, do you feel as though your trainers are reviewing all of the information in a way that you understand? What are some of the things that you've enjoyed? And what are some of the things that may have been challenging? All of these questions help us to continue to improve our training process and to be sure that we're meeting the trainee where they are to better help them absorb the information. After the check-in, the trainer on shift will have the trainee take a room overview quiz for each room that they are learning. The room overview asks multiple questions pertaining to the room, such as how puzzles work, codes they need to know, timing, what are reset errors that can happen in the room and how can you avoid them, and many more things. We review all of the quizzes and the checkpoint notes to know how to direct the training in the following days. For days 5 through 7, we have the trainers focus on areas that were highlighted from the location manager checkpoint. From this point forward, the trainee should be taking lead on every part of the job, doing all customer interactions, running the room, and resetting the room. The trainer is always present and provides feedback in areas as needed. But with how our process is set up, the trainer is responsible for all the rooms even if the trainee is the one leading. So they're extra vigilant, making sure that there are no reset errors and that the trainee is running the rooms as they should be. During these 2 days, we have the trainee take a few more quizzes to ensure they have sound knowledge in all areas. They take room-specific clue quizzes. These quizzes highlight different puzzles and scenarios that have occurred in the rooms before, and then ask the trainee which clues they would use in each situation. They also take the room issue and reset error quiz for each room they're learning. This quiz highlights different reset errors that may have occurred in the past and asks the trainee what they might be and how to avoid them in the future. It asks the correct ways to reset the room to ensure no errors happen. The quiz also asks about any issues that could potentially happen within the room and the steps to take if an issue occurs. Day 8 is the final day of official training, and it begins with a mock assessment. This is to prepare them for the assessment that they will have to conclude training and be officially cleared as a room host. The trainer will observe the room host carry out all tasks required within the room host role, with minimal intervention, and then provide the feedback to help them know what to look for and what to improve on. They have the trainee talk them through the puzzles and flow within each room. Then they review the entire training checklist and ensure that all milestones have been met, all quizzes have been taken, and that the trainee is ready for their assessment. The assessment is the final portion of our training process for new room host. This shift is scheduled for about 4 hours. Depending on how bookings are, the trainee may start with the written portion of the assessment or the practical. The practical involves the location manager observing the trainee host a group from start to finish. From greeting the group in the lobby, taking them to the viewing room, doing the room intro, running the room, greeting the group, and then resetting. They take notes throughout the whole process and give ratings on specific interactions, making sure they've hit all the items that we require our room host to do. Once the practical portion has been concluded, the trainee then takes the written portion of the assessment. The assessment is longer than the quizzes, but pulls questions from each quiz and has ones that they have yet to answer. It covers every single aspect of the room host role, from all practical items to all room knowledge items. Once the assessment has concluded, the location manager will then grade both the practical and the written portions of the assessment. The trainee has to pass with an 80 or above to be cleared to become a room host. If they fall more into the 75 to 79 range, we'll have a follow-up training shift, but that is if we feel like the trainee can continue with us and do well with the job. If they score an 80 or more, they are officially cleared and will continue to become experts at the rooms that they've learned. The location manager will send feedback to the trainee with the things that they did well and the things that they need to work on during their next few shifts. So, that's a ton of information that we just went over. If you're looking to raise the bar in your own training process or starting from scratch, I hope this overview gives you some insight and direction for your own training processes. Our training process is incredibly structured and rigorous, but we found that it makes for better quality room hosts that are fully prepared to handle the challenges of the job and are prepared to move up quickly within the company. We want to make sure that room hosts are equipped to deliver an exceptional escape room experience every single time. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about this topic or any other topics related to owning an escape room, be sure to check out PuzzolCon 2025. This is our second annual conference where we will have presentations and hands-on workshops centered around helping out escape room owners that want to improve their businesses. We can't wait to see you there. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this.